What's going on, guys? Welcome back to episode 14 of the Next Wave podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Blake Zanny Janney, joined by my best bud, Dak D. Woody Woodall. We're welcoming you to episode 14, getting up there in numbers here. We're going to be covering some Call of Duty and some Rocket League, and as always, our segment pick and bands at the end that we've coined here on the Next Wave podcast. So stay tuned. It's going to be a great episode covering the Call of Duty matches and the Rocket League Championship Series as well. So appreciate y'all for tuning in. Let's get into it. Once again, welcome back to episode 14 of the podcast. Me and your co-host D. Woody coming back at you again with another episode. We're getting up there in episodes. We're on 14. We've been doing this for, we've had a cup. Have we had any gaps?
Yeah, we took
one or two.
I think we took a couple. Yeah, so like 16 weeks probably.
16 weeks at it. So
4 months.
A little pat on the back for us there.
Heck yeah.
I've been having a good time. So how you been, man? You doing well?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, dude. Last week was pretty shit for me, just overall, just work, everything. It was one of those weeks where I was just in a horrible routine, staying up too late and not treating my body right. I was just fast fooding all week, just indulging in all the vices. And it was just one of those weeks where I was like, I just need to get to the weekend and reset, and that's what I did. So we're gonna have a better week this week. I tried to record some shit for Saturday, a Rocket League video. It was horrible, bro.
Nothing was going right.
Nothing was going right. I was like, screw this, bro.
I've had multiple of those weeks, but hopefully with this job change, I'm able to break into some good habits. So I definitely feel you on that. Was today a good day for you?
Yeah, today is a lot better.
Good. Yeah, I definitely feel that. Starting either tomorrow or Wednesday, I'm trying to wake up at like 6:30 every day to get ready for the new job.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to break a lot of bad habits and form some new ones. So I'm excited for that change. It's gonna suck. I'm definitely gonna have some less time to dedicate towards Next Wave, which I'm not happy about, but definitely want to put myself in a position for success, and obviously gonna dedicate some time to NW as needed. But nonetheless, let's go ahead and jump into some Call of Duty here. If you want to go ahead and hit that transition for us, that little tranny.
We'll be
right
back.
That little tranny.
I may have to cut that out.
No, it's a shortened form of transition. Just hit the tranny,
Okay, one sec.
All right, so jumping into the COD weekend here. Just to view the weekend overall quickly. It was a weird weekend, honestly. There was some snoozers. There was some close matches that seemed dominant on one side of the ball, but went to map 5. It was a weird weekend. What do you think about our first week of Major 2 qualifiers?
Yeah, I agree, and I didn't like only having 2 matches on Friday. Am I tripping?
Yeah.
Is that a new thing? What the hell?
Yes, it is a new thing. Apparently, I don't know why. It's 2 matches. Come on. We had this problem, I think, in MW 2019 at one point, or Cold War, where they were doing 2 matches on one day, and I was like, this is horrendous. But it was Thursday, Friday. They did 2-2, and then 4-3 or something like that. So apparently this stage, Fridays are 2 matches, and the next stage is 3 matches, and then stage 4 is back to 2 matches. They're switch. I don't know. Whoever's in charge of scheduling at the CDL needs to be fired. This shit is ass. 2 matches on Friday is a snooze fest. You make us wait 4 days for COD matches, and then you give us an hour and a half, 2 hours of COD.
It could have been a DoorDash challenge day had Carolina just won that map 3.
Yeah, which we'll get to here in a moment. The first match of the day on Friday was the Miami Heretics versus Toronto Ultra. We did have a CDL debut for Eric Boom on the side of the Miami Heretics, stepping in for Journey, who I actually played against the Miami Heretics on the first map that we see here, Rio Hardpoint. We got smoked. Oh, no, it was Karachi Hardpoint.
You talking about in ranked?
In ranked, yeah, we played against Lucky, Journey, and their coach Methods, and we got smoked. I had the
Yeah.
most kills on the team, I will say,
Yeah, I did
like
see
third
that.
most in the lobby. So
Nice, bro.
um, I was doing my thing a little bit there, but um, yeah. So went ahead and looked at Eric Boom's stats here. Not a great debut from the kid. He drops a .69 overall. What do you think of
Nice.
Eric Boom?
Yeah, he got absolutely boomed. No pun
Yeah.
intended. Actually, pun intended. Yeah, he
Pun was
got
completely
pun was
intended there, of
entirely
course.
intended
That was
there.
clearly an intentional pun there, but yeah, I was expecting a little bit more. Obviously, getting thrown into your first match in the CDL against the best team in the league is not easy. I mean, I would have been really impressed if he dropped over like a .8, honestly.
Yeah.
So like I don't give him too much harsh critique for this. They're the best team in the game. Scrap had a 1.5 almost in the series. So I mean, they were just doing their thing. It was another day of the week. All the maps were pretty close though, but for the most part, excuse me, Toronto was in the driving seat.
Yeah. Um, it was fun getting to see Rio for the first two maps because I haven't really been playing ranked too much and haven't really got to play Rio when I do play ranked. So
I think we're gonna see it a lot.
yeah, I do too, and I think it's a fun map for SMGs, if I'm not
Yes,
mistaken.
yes, that's why I'm really happy that it's in the rotation. As a biased Optic fan in on this standpoint, it's really good for Optic.
Yeah.
Getting our fucking superstar. We have superstar sub duo on our team
Mm-hmm.
that we haven't really gotten to see other than like certain hills on a map.
Yeah, Karachi.
And so yeah, Karachi for the most part, and Skid. And so being able to see them be able to run that 2-2 or even at times 3-1,
Yeah.
which I see some teams doing. I don't think Kenny is particularly um, gonna. I feel like his playstyle in this game, he's probably not gonna use the sub on that map.
Mm-hmm.
I did he at all? I didn't watch the map when Optic played it. Did he at all?
I don't know.
I don't think he did.
I
But
wouldn't.
nonetheless, yeah, I think Rio. I mean, Invasion's just in a horrible spot right now. You
Yeah.
have to be crazy to pick that map unless you're like a bottom team going up against a top team.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't see any teams really vetoing Rio, but I definitely don't see anyone picking Invasion over it. So I feel like we're going to
Right.
see a lot of Rio in the map pool here, which I'm excited about.
Yeah, me too. And um, you know, even though it is good for SMGs, Kleenex didn't have the greatest series of his life, but he didn't really need to
He
either.
was chilling.
Yeah, he was chilling. Scrap was out here dropping freaking 1.46 on the series. Like they were just doing their thing.
And like we say that he had a .9, he went -3 in the map one.
Yeah.
What like that's fine. And then he goes 4-9 in the search, but they win, so who cares? And then
Yeah.
map 3 he goes positive. So like that .9 is a .9 in 3 maps that they
Yeah.
3-0'd. So like I mean that's really a 1 point something like if you factor in everything else. So
Yeah.
I mean nothing much to say about this other than poor debut from Eric Boom
Yeah,
unfortunately in the
and
Toronto keeps it up.
real quick, it's just tough for Miami after a documentary comes out showing how hard their coach was on him. And I know you haven't watched that yet, but it's all in Spanish, so it's all subtitles. But it was just like after every loss, and they got double 3-0'd at Major One. He was just
Yeah.
like, "What the fuck are y'all doing?" Like he was just asking
think that's
tough
good.
questions and was like hard
Like,
on
I
him.
love that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna watch it because I really want to, but I mean, I think that's what a Call of Duty coach needs. It needs to be hard
mm-hmm.
nosed, and there's no room for error because in a game like this, you always have to be ready for that next play and to be able to make the right decision. And especially with like younger people on the team and rookies, and a team that's supposed to have the teamwork that we think Miami's supposed to have on the map,
Right.
with that much chemistry between them. I mean, you got to be hard nosed. I'd much rather that than like an analytical kind of
Mm-hmm.
behind the scenes, let the players hash it out
Yeah.
type of coach. So going into the next match of the day, the last match since we only had two, was the Ravens going up against the Subliners. This turned into a back half DoorDash. The first two maps, the Ravens were able to take a close sub-base hardpoint, and then they shit on them on the Invasion S&D. On map one,
Dog, we got to talk about map one.
yeah,
Map one was insane.
Gwyn was the only one positive on his team, and He's easily the best player on that
Dude,
team and one of the better players in the league.
Gwyn is him, bro.
He's him.
He is him.
He's
He
him.
was getting some kills towards the end of that game when it was close, where I was like, holy shit, he's one shot, and then he would somehow get another kill, and I'm like, holy shit, bro, this dude is fucking Jason Bourne. But,
most damage in the lobby, second most time on his team. Like, get him some help, man.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to be, rookie of the year if he keeps this up.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there's some good rookies this year.
It's either him or Linz at this point.
Yeah.
Currently, we're going to need to see some of the others turn up. There are a lot of new quote-unquote rookies. Asim is not one of them, even though he did just get picked up. I feel like him and Nasty are not going to be included. Of the recent pickups, him and Nasty are the ones that are not going to be up for Rookie of the Year. But to speak a little bit on this series a little bit more here, like I said, Royal Ravens go up 2-0. And then New York, I want to talk about them as a team a little bit, bro. I do not know what to think of this team. Obviously, being able to stay composed after getting smoked in the S&D. You win a grueling round 5 high rise, which is expected. It's high rise. The defense is going to win every round for the most part.
Yeah.
They string together those next two maps, 250-100, and then 6-1 them in the S&D. So really good turnaround from the mental side of subliners. But I just feel like I haven't seen a consistent performance from them as a team overall across a stage, right?
Yeah.
Like, we've seen them lose to bad teams, beat good teams, go 6-1, and then get double eliminated at the tournament. Like, I don't know what to think of this team.
Even when they go 6-1 though, like, they are dropping maps.
They're rocky.
Yeah, like they're still dropping maps to teams that are like middle to low pack teams.
Yeah.
Teams that they probably shouldn't be dropping maps to. But Hydra this year has not been MVP level Hydra.
Right.
And it's starting to be noticeable. Like, people are starting to talk about it on Twitter and on shows and shit. And honestly, bro, I think it's just early overreaction. I just don't see how you can have a team that won champs and 2 other majors last year, make one switch of a player who's one of the best players when it comes to slaying, and just be dog shit the whole year. Like they're gonna figure it out, bro. They'll be up there in the conversation come major 3, major 4. Like, I'm not worried at all.
I think both of the things that you said go hand in hand with each other. It being early, and that's also a factor in how Sib is playing and how, because obviously if you bring more Slayer talent to the team, it's going to have to take away from somewhere or someone, right? And I really think it's being taken away from Hydra right now. I think the reason that we're not seeing him have these crazy 3 pieces and 30 bombs and stuff like that, like we normally see from him, is because they have such a talented Slayer in Sib on their team instead of Priesta.
Yeah.
Whereas with Priesta on the team and compounding over time with Priesta, you saw the openings he was allowed or Hydra. He was setting Hydra up for success. He was setting Hydra up for 3 pieces. Might have been in W2, but still the same play style applies. So I think with time, as Sib and Hydra kind of mesh, I think they're going to find their opportunities to ascend together in terms of both finding the right kills on the map to where Hydra is set up. I think Rio is going to be good for them as well, coming into them, seeing Hydra be able to run a sub for a full map and not have to worry about picking up an AR or swapping to an AR for a certain hill. So I definitely agree with you there. But shout out to New York for coming out with the reverse sweep. Anything to say before we move on to Saturday?
Yeah, I will say, I mean, this isn't a very good game for SMGs, so it is nice to see Rio come in, and hopefully that will make Hydra better, make Shotzi better, make a lot of these SMGs who haven't been consistently at the level we know they can play at better. And also that map 1, Hydra threw the fuck out of that map. If you saw, it was...
I didn't.
So this map, I was watching it. It was like 100 and something to 12. NYSL was up, and I was like, okay, well, this shit's over. So I went and made some food, came back. It's 220 to 220. They're on P1 sub base, and they just got 4 dead. NYSL did. And Hydra jumps into the building and is like looking for someone who's not even spawning there. Yeah, and he could have easily gotten on hill for 5 more seconds, more than 5 seconds, and they would have won the map. But him doing that screwed them over because they went and lost because Ravens got the next hill.
Yeah, I actually did see. I think I saw them reviewing that on the breakdown. I tuned in for a couple minutes, and it's weird that you say that. I actually that's what they were looking at. I wasn't listening, so I didn't understand what they were saying or the context. But now that you say it, I see exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And yeah, if how you described it is true, he threw.
Yeah, he had like 15 seconds of downtime because he was looking for someone who didn't even spawn there. When he could have just
Yeah,
laid down on P1 and got that extra 5 seconds that would have won them the game. So,
yeah, which probably would have seen a completely different
which
series.
that's all in hindsight because at the time it's tied, but even then, like the play would still be to get on Hill. I think.
Yeah, I expect like with 5 seconds left, like I'm ending the game
Yeah, like he just kind of
as fast
tweaked,
as I
bro.
can.
Like he was just
Yeah.
tweaking.
And Carolina again come victim to the last match of the first day to the first match of the next day. They
God.
did end a lot earlier. It was only 2 matches, so technically they were like the middle slot
Yeah,
of the first day,
true.
and then the first slot still were ended up being bookended though. So going into the next day, Saturday, we got the first matchup being the Boston Breach versus the Carolina Royal Ravens. We've got Asim, however you want to pronounce it, coming in for the Boston Breach off of the FaZe Black Challenger team. This was definitely my favorite pickup of all the roster changes, and was hoping to see this come to fruition. We finally got an above average debut from someone coming into the CDL this season. Asim had a rough start to the first and second map, but ended up with a 1.04 overall and went crazy on map 3 and map 4. Map 3, Asim was able to go 35 and
Yeah,
23,
he was
and
going
then
nuts, dude.
last map had the most kills in the lobby, 29 and 26. So he turned up. That they said on the interviews, he was a little frantic and was maybe had some excited jitters coming in.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely don't think he was nervous. He was probably just really amped and excited.
Yeah.
So really happy to see. I've become a fan of this team since they picked up Asim. I've always loved Asim. I always thought he plays COD the correct way. Big fan of his play style, selfless, always working for the win. So I'm happy to see these Boston boys get the dub here.
Yeah, same here, bro. I was really happy for Asim. He seems like a good dude and good player, so it kind of sucks seeing him out of the league. And it's a blessing for him that he got to come in and be on a team like Boston Breach and not a bottom of the barrel team like LA
Right.
Thieves or someone like that. So
Yeah,
this is
I
dope, bro.
agree.
They could actually be a threat and upset some
Yes.
teams at majors if they keep
Yes.
improving and play at the
Especially
level
if
we know they might.
Slasher keeps up to the level of play he's been having. Usually, when you think of Slasher, you think of someone that plays more fundamental, not necessarily a slay heavy play style, but he has been fragging
Yeah, he's been
these
frying.
past few weeks since the major, and a couple of playoff or online matches before. So really happy to. I enjoy watching this Boston team.
Mm-hmm.
So not much to say on the series other than Gwen, the only one positive for the Ravens. Just get that man some help again.
Yeah, and Fellow is not doing good in respawns at all,
No,
bro. Yeah, he's just not.
which sucks because we've seen because obviously the change from GodRx to him has been positively impactful. Now it hasn't translated into a lot of map wins or series wins.
Mm-hmm.
They definitely went from what the fuck is this team to okay, we've got some structure.
Right.
We just need to close out maps and close out series. So I don't know if they're going to be the next team to make another change or if it's going to be LAT again. We'll get to their match, but
I
nonetheless,
mean,
I
unless
get him some help, man.
yeah, but Ravens are still close in a lot of these maps. Like a lot of these hard points they're
Right,
losing are close.
30
Like
points.
they're right there. So if they could just get a little bit more
Slaying help.
slaying help, like they could close out a lot of these maps that they're losing. And
Yeah,
I mean, unless they just absolutely spiral and get shit on at the major, like there's no way this team makes another change. I don't think.
yeah, yeah. I definitely
Because I
agree with
mean,
you.
we're getting into like solidify your roster time, you know?
Yeah, I think making a roster change post season 2 major is going to be a really really big risk because it's at the point halfway through the season where you're like, do we try and stick it out and develop some chemistry and get better as a team, or do we go for the quick band-aid fix and pick up someone who can help out? So I'm interested to see what they go with. But um, any other comments on this match?
No, shout out Asim, great debut.
Good job, Asim. Love you, man. We're rooting for you over here at Next Wave.
Yes, sir.
Getting over to the next match of the day, we have Atlanta FaZe going up against the Miami Heretics. Nothing really too much to harp on here, other than Eric Boom did a little bit of a 360, ended up with a
Yeah.
1.04, the only one positive on their team. And on that map 1, which is the one they were able to take, he went crazy and won them the map with 28 kills and a 1.4, doing his thing. So it's good to see that we know Eric Boom has the potential to make a positive impact on this roster. And overall, if you're Heretics, you win map 1, you lose round 11 in the S&D, you kind of throw the S&D, which we might have a little bit more to say on. But overall, I mean, you look at it and it's just okay. FaZe is just winning their match.
Yeah, dude, that's
You know?
that's so tough for Miami to have the worst possible outcome at the major. You have a coach and an owner who are super hard on you, put a lot of pressure on you as a player, and then you got to come out and play Ultra and then FaZe back to back, bro. So those players are in hell right now. Like they're grinding for their jobs right now.
Yeah. Absolutely. Vickle had a tough series, 0.7. I would say he's probably what you would look at as the most star power out of these 4 players, I would say, just because we've seen the most of him in recent COD history. So sucks to see him have a pretty shitty series with a 0.7 there, only getting 53 kills over 4 maps. So tough series out of him, but it was just another day in the office for FaZe.
Yeah, and dude, it just seems like ever since the major, like Miami was heralded as like this great teamwork type of team, and they've just been inconsistent ever since. They'll have 3 players do all right, 1 player dropping a 0.5, and you're just like, you know, there's always like 1 or 2 dudes just not on the same page as everyone else. So they need to figure it out. But they did just make a change, so you know they're probably still working shit out.
Yeah, we'll see. But this next match was any last words before we move on?
Nah.
Okay. Next match, we've got the Subliners versus the Surge. This was the Surge fucking blow, dude. The Surge need to blow it up. You need to get rid of Brezzy, bring back our Illy, drop RCDs, and pick someone up. This, I don't know what they're fucking thinking over there at Seattle. Obviously, if it's an out-of-game thing regarding Illy, then fine. Drop Brezzy, drop RCDs, pick up 2 brand new people, bro. Get Abuza some help. Keep him on an AR and be able to fucking go crazy. Can you think about this? This could have happened in the off season, in the off season. The LA Thieves, or let's say Seattle, this team could have been formed. Ghosty, Abuza, ARs, Lins, and sorry, I'm going blank. Who's the other rookie? Lins and
Abuza Lins Purge? Abuza Lins.
No, who was it?
Fuck.
Oh my god, I forgot who it was. It was Ghosty, Abuza, Lins, and one other fucking person, bro. Was it Lins and Vivid? I don't know. But anyways, the fact that they created this Seattle Surge roster in the first place is beyond me, and then making these changes was just not necessary. This was one of the worst series I have ever watched in my entire life. It was so one-sided. It was not close. 6-3 in the S&D, 3-0 in the control. The sub base was a little bit close, but that's just sub base is just mixy. Abuza had a 1.4 and Skies had a 1.69. Everyone else in the lobby was negative, so it was really just a 1v1 with some 3 bots on each team, and fucking New York came out on top because they're just better.
I'm glad you watched this because this was the one series that I did not watch much of at all on Saturday.
In the high-rise control, bro, I don't remember if there's like a wipe or like trades or anything, but New York got onto 8 point, and this is how high-rise defense works. You obviously are going to fight both points, but B is the easier one to capture. Offense is more than likely going to go B. You fight B. You have someone lurking at A, top heli to protect any A pushes, but you are primarily defending B because it's the easier one to get, and if they go A, you completely give up B, and you secure A and don't let them cap A. New York established some presence at A, and the Surge proceed to push up long, bottom B and like holding their spawn and give up A pretty much. It's like the play call was, all right, we're giving up A, which is the worst thing that you can
Yeah.
do, like, especially on high rise where
Yeah.
defense is almost guaranteed. Not only that, New York hop on the point. They decide to fight it, but it took them 15 seconds to get
Oh
into a
my
gunfight
god.
with someone at A.
Were they
It
already
took
2 ticks in?
15. Dude, they were almost capturing the second
Oh
tick
my
before one
god.
gunfight. And guess what? There was only one, maybe two people on point. It wasn't like they were
Yeah.
stacking. It took them 15 seconds to challenge someone on A, and they lost the fucking round. And that's why you see a
Dude,
3-0,
what
because
the
they were
fuck?
able to get an offense. So I was mind blown. It was the worst play I have ever seen. They were completely lost on the map, and they need to blow it up. Brezzy drops a .69 in the series. He got fucking pissed on. RCDs and Hook had 34 kills across 3 maps. Like, dude, this team is horrible right now. LA Thieves might be better.
Dude, genuinely, like, this is all outside looking in. We don't know shit. We don't know who to talk to. We got no contacts. It just seems like this team internally is burning to the fucking ground. And
Yeah.
I feel like, bro, like just since RCD's left phase, like, he just seems like he's in a
He's not
funk,
good.
bro. He's in a
He's just
funk,
not
like,
good.
mentally. Like, I feel like I'm
Yeah.
questioning his drive right now, and that may just be life situations going on. Who knows? But I feel like his mind is not where it needs to be competing at this type of level of competition in anything, bro.
I agree.
Like, I don't know, bro. And maybe he's
No, you're
perfectly
right.
fine and he's just dog shit. So who knows, bro? Either way, the man should not be on the roster right now.
I agree. Easy 3-0 for New York. Nothing really to touch on other than Abuza is easily their best player and needs some help. And New York just absolutely exploited a downtrending team.
Yeah, and
So
honestly, Abuza even having positives on a team like this, he might
he's
be the
crazy.
best fucking player in the league.
No, yeah, he's insane. His POV looks really
To
good. They need to
drop
get
a
him some help.
1.05 in this type of series, man, good for you,
Yeah.
Abuza.
Yeah. And obviously, we know KD does not mean everything.
Yeah.
It doesn't tell all. But in that scenario, it's got to count for something.
Yeah.
But going on to our last day of the weekend here, jumping into Sunday, we've got the first match, the Las Vegas Legion versus the Los Angeles Guerrillas. And we had Purge showing a little bit of life here. We'll get to attach here in a second, but Purge making a switch to more of the sub role with the pickup of Geo. Purge was a sub in Challengers back in MW2 where he really thrived and was one of the top Challengers players. So they tried to make it a little bit more to where he can use a sub and put him in scenarios where he can utilize his better playstyle. I think this is one of his better KDs in the series, a .93. They get a 3-1 victory, so it was nice to see that it wasn't the most faded change. I definitely don't think he should still be on the roster, but they're working something out. LAG don't look too good right now. It seems everyone's, kind of caught up to that early head start that they had. And yeah, Legion take it with a 3-1.
Yeah, and honestly, if Purge is going to be playing like this and improving with a sub, then I think they should keep him. Because my problem with Purge was just that he never could keep up and respawn. And,
Right.
This time around, he's dropping around a 1 KD and seemed to be playing a lot better. And, when he is playing good, I feel like he plays the right way and always like makes decent decisions and stuff. So,
Yeah.
There's a reason they kept him. There's a reason Attach believes in him. And he said on the flank or on the interview, I forget, that, he knows that Purge is a good player and just needs to learn some things. And, he can be a good addition to the team. So I like this team, bro.
Yeah, I think they can make some strides, but now they just got to do the same thing with Geo. Now, you just got to hope that Geo can doesn't have to have that same obstacle or jump that needs to be made to where they can get to a winning level. So you just got to hope that Geo is on pace and on the same page with these guys, which, I mean, they pulled out a nice 3-2 win here. They were some close maps, but I don't think LEG looked that good.
No, yeah, they didn't look very good. And Assault was just, which he hasn't been like doing that great slang wise, but I'm sure he puts in some dirty work that helps enable other players. But this series, dog, I mean, this was like, bro was just slow, he just was not in rhythm at all with his teammates. So
yeah, I mean, I've never been a huge proponent of Assault in his gameplay. Obviously, he's got a world champ MVP, but it was World War II, snooze, whatever. Um, I just think he's getting to that point where he's easily replaceable. Like, I mean, you pick up a challenger player that he could have less slaying power than Assault, but if he's got a little bit more pace and a little bit more sense of urgency,
Who's the
I still
leader on
think
this team though?
it's Assault. I'm
So
pretty sure it's either Assault. I mean, vocally, I feel like
I mean, do you
I'm about to
think
sneeze. Hold
that
on.
they need some random challengers AR to come in who hasn't been a leader? But like, what happens if they bring someone in that's not a very good leader? Does this team just like
I
become
could be
Nate's
wrong
team?
on this. I could be wrong on this, but I feel like vocally, as in like in-game comms, I feel
Mm-hmm.
like Diamond Con is really that. I could be completely wrong on this though.
No, that's
I
kind
feel like
of the vibe I get too, though. Like Diamond
yeah, and
Con's pretty.
so Assault. I think that even if he is the leader and he's the corraller of the troops,
Mm-hmm.
I still think his lack of slaying ability and his lack of pace outweighs that.
Yeah, I was just
In
curious
my
because
opinion,
Assault has been around for a long time, so like I'm just
very long time.
assuming that he's like the one
Right.
kind of being the leader. So I just wonder how the dynamic would change if they got him out of there and brought someone younger in that hasn't been in the league.
Right. Yeah, I'm not too sure. It's like I said, it's which one do you prefer? Like which one do you value more?
Yeah,
Do you
well, I mean,
value
if
the
Assault is
talent or
playing
the
like
leadership?
this, then bring in
Yeah,
someone else. But
yeah. And speaking of vets doing their thing though, Attach with a 1.43 in the series, he was going crazy, flipped off the
87
camera,
kills.
loved it,
Yeah,
loved
me
it.
too, bro. Me too. You know, I guarantee you, because Attach has been in COD forever. Like, he was just like, bro, these people are really disrespecting me after all the shit I've done in this game. Like, fuck them, bro. Like, I feel like that's the vibe he was on, because everyone's been hating on them, saying that they choke and that they have no ice and all this shit. And it just was like built up aggression, bro. Like, he was just ready to win this shit and let it all out. It was
He
funny to
said
see.
on the he said on the flank that when he's like at his point in his career, he's like, I've done it all. I've won champs. I've done the bad, the good. I've seen everything. I got to find something to motivate me to get a win. And so they were talking shit on land, sent us home, beat us on land or whatever. So
Oh,
I
yeah.
used that as some motivation, and that's why he was
Hell
flipping off the
yeah.
camera and
Hell
shit.
yeah.
But
Good for
yeah, shout
Attach.
out to Dill Attach. Nero had a good series as well. Shout out to Nero. But yeah, 3-1 for the Vegas Legion. Anything else to add?
Nah, shout out Attach. It's still old, still doing it.
Yep. Going into the next one, we've got the Battle of the North, the Toronto Ultra versus the Minnesota Rocker. The Ultra were actually playing at a watch party venue, so they were playing in front of a small Toronto crowd for this against Minnesota. Minnesota was not there, but just Toronto was playing in front of the crowd for this match. It turned into a pretty good series. I actually didn't get a chance to watch this, but the Toronto Ultra win the first two maps. Minnesota ring off the next two, and then get absolutely pooped on,
Yeah.
as Zuma would say, got fucking pooped on.
Yeah.
In the last map, 6-0 in the S. Did anyone drop a donut?
No.
No, accuracy had won.
Yeah. Which
Of
is
course, it was
crazy, bro.
accuracy.
Like, this was the Lamar series. Like, he was playing
Yeah,
well
he's
pretty
been
much
playing
all
good,
series.
man.
Yeah.
Which pisses me off because before MW3, he was the least deserving player of a league spot in my opinion. Even there with Arcities, like I just think that there's more value, but he's been doing great. Shout out to accuracy. He's been performing great this year. I take back any hate towards you for this season
Yeah, I'm
so
gonna be
far.
honest, bro. Like, yes, play wise, Lamar before this season, could have maybe missed out on making a roster, but I just feel like he's a good leader, bro. Like, he's a
He
very
is.
good leader, and he's been on teams that, you look at Minnesota before this season, bro. I was like, oh Jesus, they're just scraping whoever they can get and trying to make a team work. But
Yeah,
I mean,
I
I
think
feel
I'm just
like
biased
yeah, and
towards his POV. I think
since
his just
yeah,
POV is just boring.
and since the lineup, I've had a little bit of hate in my heart from him. I'm not gonna lie, but I feel like he's a good
Yeah,
leader, bro. And he like every team he's on, they're decent. Like, they're not absolute
yeah.
dog shit. So
Like Awakening is a bottom 5 player in the league right now, and Minnesota are arguably a top 4 team right
yeah,
now.
and they broke the hard point streak, which I know it was on Rio, new
Wow.
map, but they broke Ultra's 14 hard point win streak or whatever. So that was
And it's not like And it's not like the Rio plays to any weaknesses of Toronto, right? Like they have two of the best sub players in the game, and we know that Scrap can pull out a sub as well, which I think he does from time to time on Rio. But yeah, shout out to Accuracy for having a really good series. Unfortunately, they do get absolutely smoked in Map 5, and Accuracy did shit the bed. Their whole team shit the bed. It's not like he's the reason they lost the Map 5s, but obviously Envoy going 9-2, just taking over. Well, we'll lose you the map.
Hey,
so
maybe the Ultra were just trying to give the fans a good series, and then they were like, all right, it's Map 5. Let's just shit on them real quick.
You could be exactly right. Yeah. I could see that from this roster. Envoy and Scrap alone. They're a little conniving.
Conniving.
Conniving, yeah.
And so speaking of Envoy, bro, he fried all weekend. He was there.
Yeah,
he was
been on his shit ever since he. Yeah.
Yeah, my dumbass took his under the first day. It ruined my parlay. Yeah. Second time.
But yeah, getting into the anything else before we get to the last match of the week?
Nope.
All right, getting into the last match, we have our home team, Optic Texas, going up against the LA Thieves. The LA Thieves fucking blow.
Yeah.
They suck cock.
Yeah, man.
They're lost on the map. Ghosty still trying to do everything he can. I don't think Crimp was thrown and Nasty were thrown into the great situation to thrive necessarily. Obviously, you're going up against a top 3 team in Optic right off the rip, and Optic were frying. Their guns were hot, bro. Anytime Shotzi's coming out map 1 and doing you like that, you're in for a bad series. So as an Optic fan, it was awesome to see that we're putting teams like this in their place. This is how we should win these maps. Obviously, Invasion goes to a 3-2, but as we've seen, Control, other than Karachi, these maps are pretty lopsided on Control. So nothing to freak out about there. If you look at the map 3 stats, we still shit on them. 1.29, 1.12, 1.09. So definitely still did our thing on that map 3 to close out the 3-0. But yeah, LA Thieves, just like Carolina, I think those are the two teams we're looking at to make a change next, if I had to guess.
You think Carolina still? Even with
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they lost.
I just think Fella's on the hot seat. I'm not saying that it warrants a change or that they need to make a change, but
he just needs to
Fella is on the hot seat.
Yeah.
I mean, he's one of my favorite, actually one of my favorite Call of Duty players of all time, so I hope he finds success, but he is on the hot seat.
Yeah. But did you hear the listen in map 1 from the LA Thieves?
Oh my god, I didn't live, but I listened to it on the flank. Holy crap, their comms are horrendous.
Dude, that was like week 1 of us scrimming in Cold War comms.
It was worse.
Yeah.
It was worse. At least I was calling out plays and sense of direction. They don't even have someone. I heard one good comm, and it was someone saying, pick up bridge, and Afro was like, I got bridge. Or something like that's all I heard, and the rest was calling out red dots, calling out dead, calling out where they spawn. Like there was no small talk, no sense of direction. I couldn't even make out phrases that people were saying. They were overlapping each other. It was frantic. It was pointless. It was the worst listening I've ever heard.
No, dog. 2 things. I was in chord with Jack when I was watching this series, and I was like, bro, this sounds like that fucking COD mobile clip of the call-outs from the fucking pros.
Yes, it does.
Like they were
6 people.
They were like screaming household items. They were like, "He's on ladder. He's on stairs. He's on stairs. Get him!"
Oh my gosh! He's a keyboard on the map with a Chick-fil-A bag next to him.
It genuinely sounded like they were fucking scared of Shotzi, bro. Like the way they were calling out, they were like, "Oh fuck, Shotzi's
Parasite said it on the flank, bro. He said they were fucking running away from gamer tags.
Yes, bro.
Which is disrespectful to say, by the way. These motherfuckers were running away from gamer tags, bro.
No, it dead ass. Like if I were to join a ranked match and found like Shotzi in a game, I'd be like, "Oh fuck, bro, that's Shotzi. Like get away from him. He's on this side." That's literally what it sounded like.
Yeah.
They were like, "Oh shit, that's Shotzi, like get over here." It was sad, bro. It was a sad first day of the new squad.
Yeah, but I mean, as an Optic fan, love to see this. Dashy frying, everyone over a 1.1 on the series. So good to see from the boys. Everyone hit their over on that. So shout out to the Optic boys. Anything else to add on the shit Thieves?
I thought there was nowhere to go but up, but they went a little bit lower in my book. So.
Yeah, Yeah, I'd have to agree.
Yeah.
So still sitting on one hard point win on the season, which is
Yikes.
absurd. Like that's
Yikes.
absurd. You'd think a team that doesn't have the
They've come
collective
close.
teamwork right now would like that. Yeah, they've come close, and like oh my gosh, I feel like if you're a shit team, that's with how mixy and spawns can
Yeah,
get on this
true.
game. Like you got to be able to win one more.
Yeah.
But yeah, that wraps up our CDL weekend here. Looking forward to more matches this coming weekend, and we'll be ready next episode to wrap it up here. But next, we're gonna go into some Rocket League stuff with our boy D Woody taking over the reins here.
Yes,
So yeah,
sir. Alrighty. So this is going to be a quick overview of the second regional, just kind of where we stand as North Americans. So this regional, last time, if you remember, our final four, because only the top 4 teams go, so I'm just going to hit on the final 4 from last time, was Shopify, Dignitas, Gen G, and G2. Gen G and G2 are our 2 best teams. G2, in my eyes, are 2 tiers above Gen G. They're fucking insane. So we'll get into that, though. Shopify went from Final 4 to not even qualifying for this regional. So, yeah, that's tough. There goes their major chances. And other than that, a lot of familiar faces, a few new faces. We had Akron University qualify for
that's
this.
sick.
Yeah, that's sick
That
as
is
fuck,
sick.
dude. And
I love that.
I know you probably don't remember, but I feel like I remember seeing them in the CRL championship that we went to at DreamHack.
Yeah, I think so.
So I think they've been in the college scene for a minute, and they're obviously great players if they can qualify top 16 in a region. So shout out to them, bro. That was sick that they were even in here. And
that is awesome.
I'm not gonna hit on Swiss much at all, but they took SSG to a map 5 to start the day.
Love to see that.
And then they got 3-0 swept by the next 2 teams. But that was
Yikes.
cool. That was cool. So good for them. Shout out Akron. I love seeing college esports do well. But getting into our final 8 here, a lot of familiar faces. We had M80 here again. Also, they went 3-0 in Swiss both times. So they're really good. Gen G here, of course. G2, Space Station, Luminosity. A lot of the teams that you would expect to be in it were in it. So it was really cool to see. I'm gonna start here with LG versus NRG. Our boy Reddles, former Optic, seemed to care a lot, so we ride with him. They had a really good tournament, and it was fun to watch. So in Swiss, LG, they went 3-2. And they choked the SSG series. They were up 2-0, I believe, and got reverse swept. So that was a heartbreaker. And then they had to turn right around and go play NRG. And I feel like they had an ugly series because it probably had to do with the quick turnaround from the heartbreaker. And so they got 3-0'd by NRG and then ended up beating 2 other teams to make the final 8.
And then got it back on them.
Yeah. So that being said, they got their chance of revenge in the first round against NRG, and 4-0 stomped them. It was probably the sloppiest series from both teams that I've seen all weekend. I mean, it was ugly, dude. NRG was just so much uglier, though. Like, there was just multiple team bumps, plays getting broken because people were just messing up. Like, no one seemed to have boost in this series. I don't know where it was all going. Probably just to them demoing each other. I don't know. But Reddles was in ass cheeks all weekend long. Dude is just a demo whore. Yeah, he just causes chaos. That's why my 2 favorite players are Calm and Reddles, and they talk the most shit and they demo the most people.
I love it.
So yeah, Reddles was doing good. He was causing a shit ton of chaos, and Cheese, their new third, he had a really, really good weekend, and I feel like that was in part because Reddles and Magic Bay were doing such a good job opening up plays and enabling him. So
for sure.
So it was a really good series not a really good series, but they did 4-0 them. So shout out to LG. That being said, right above them, LG had to play the winner of M80 versus OG. And OG is Calm, JNaps, and Noli. 3 vets. They've been around for a while, and people had really high hopes for this team going into the season. Last regional, they did really bad. They went 0-3 in Swiss. So huge bounce back from them this weekend. People are starting to call Jories on M80 a Swiss merchant. So
I saw a lot of stuff. This is one of the matches I did watch, and I was
mm-hmm.
watching Alpha Kep's watch party of it,
Yeah, he's
and
fucking
he was
crazy,
saying
bro.
how apparently M80s just like people aren't scared of M80 even
Yeah.
though they went top 4 last tournament or last qualifier or whatever these are called.
Yeah.
Um, and they're super inconsistent, and so people aren't really scared to match up against them. And like they may had a good run, but they're really not that good. Is what they said.
Exactly. And these three players individually are insane. They're insane. Like they're all ones mains. They have really crazy wins in ones tournaments. Like they're really skilled individuals. As a team, I don't know. I mean, they just have to put it together. Like right now, they're not there as a team. So obviously, both times they've gone 3-0 in Swiss, but Joris has a history of doing this. Like in the fall major last year, he went 3-0, and they beat G2, Gen G, and Version 1, all top NA teams. They went 3-0 in Swiss, got top 12 in the tournament. At Worlds the year before, 3-1 in Swiss, top 16 in the tournament.
Rough.
You know, both regionals this time, 3-0 in Swiss, first rounded.
So he's a Swiss merchant.
Yeah, so that's what he's saying, but he knows it and tweeted, "Trust me, I'm going to beat the allegations one day."
Allegations.
Yeah, after this tournament, he said, "I'm gonna beat the allegations one day." So you know, obviously he knows and has a chip on his shoulder now. So, I mean, I just feel like if you have three of the best skilled players on one team, like they got to be able to figure it out. They got to be able to ascend. Yeah, I mean, they're going 3-0. They 3-0 Gen G in Swiss. Like that's freaking hard to do. So they have a high ceiling. They just need to learn how to put it together when it matters.
Yeah.
So
makes sense.
That being said, OG, great day. Calm was demoing like crazy. And in the interview afterwards, he said JNaps is the fastest player he's ever played with. I believe him, bro. He was insane. He was everywhere. He got a hat trick the first game. He had one of the quickest reads I've ever seen. Like he 180 power slid and jumped in the air before his teammate even passed the ball, and the ball like came straight to where he was flying to, and he got a double touch to go ahead and win the map.
Yeah.
So JNaps was everywhere, bro. OG looks a lot better. Before the season, they had every other team in the region kind of make their own power rankings, and everyone had OG in the top 4. So there's high hopes for this team. Their peers think they should be good, and they put it together this weekend and had a decent weekend. So shout out to OG. It was fun to see Calm doing good and see them kind of play to what they're expected to play at. But that being said, they had to go play Luminosity. And despite having a sloppier series the day before, I think that was just the trolley ass series. They knew that they could beat NRG, and they were just having fun with it. They cleaned it up, and LG had a really, really good series against OG. Reddles was in his bag causing chaos with bumps and demos, and they did a really good job letting Cheese take a bunch of shots and look good. So, you know, LG had a really good series against OG, and I think they're playing to where we expect them to be when they're playing their best, you know, in the top 4, in the mix with a lot of the high mid-tier teams. I don't think LG is going to be beating any teams like G2 or Carmine Corp or anyone like that at a major. But you know, if they can play like this, they could definitely get that top 6 type of placing. So it was a really good series from them. Sorry, what?
Last I'm jumping ahead to the other side of the bracket here. If you had some other closing.
Yeah. Well, I was about to just go up there and talk about how G2 owns.
Yeah, I was gonna say last time we reviewed the last qualifier, they were on separate sides of the bracket, right? G2 and Gen G, and they met in the finals. So it was cool to see that they got to collide in semis and make a little change up for our grand final.
Yeah, I agree. And overall, I think LG had a good weekend, but they kind of got some bracket luck being able to avoid SSG and Gen G and G2.
I agree.
Those are all really good teams that could beat them. So, you know, they did kind of get lucky. But at the same time, Reddles said he'd rather play M80 over OG when they were like, because they played first and then had to play the winner. And I disagree, bro. I think he's capping. I think he was capping. I feel like Reddles.
You think so?
I don't know if Reddles wanted to go play AJ next series, bro. I don't know. I just, every time I saw like Reddles play Arsenal after they left, it just seemed like he was just mentally
chalked,
kind of. I don't know. I was like, please. I was praying for OG to win that series. So, and they did. And then Riddle shit on OG. So I feel like he was capping.
Interesting.
Yeah. But who knows? You know, I'm not at that level of play. So maybe he did think OG was the harder opponent. But that being said, on the other side of the bracket, we have G2, who, like I said, they look 2 tiers above the next team below them. I mean, they are just insane, bro. They swept Pirates round 1, who's a solid team. They 4-1'd Gen G, only dropping an overtime game. I mean, they're just head and shoulders above everyone else.
Yeah.
Their teamwork is incredible. Daniel is pretty much he was going to be like our Zen, our North American Zen. Like, he's like a little child prodigy, came in like insane skill, and he hasn't really won anything meaningful at all. But now that he's on this team, and he has 2 really, really good teammates in Beast Mode and Atomic who can, they can be the leading scorers, but they don't even need to be because they have Daniel behind them as third man who's always going to be there to clean it up. And they do such a good job at, they could have a shot opportunity, but they see a better play and like pass to Daniel or bump someone instead.
Yeah,
and like they just seem to be making all the right decisions at all the right times, and they make other teams so uncomfortable. Like Gen G looked horrible both times they played G2. Like, it's insane, bro. They're on a whole nother level.
They're putting First Killer down.
It's really dope to see, and it also pisses me off because I was a version 1 fan for 2 years and they never did this shit. So
yeah.
So, you know, but shout out to them. G2, I mean, they just have insane talent everywhere. They have great teamwork. They're making all the right decisions. They just look really good. And Reddles tweeted after this series that they had to play him, you know, G2 4-1 LG. There was a moment where LG was up. It was map 4. The series was 2-1. G2 was up, and LG was up 3-1 with 13 seconds left or some shit and lost that game. No. Actually, no. What happened was there was 2 goals within 13 seconds that made them go down 1 or whatever, and they ended up losing an OT. I don't know. It was a game that they shouldn't have choked away, and they gave up 2 goals in 13 seconds and choked it away, and then they just got stopped.
Damn.
So
that's rough.
Yeah. So
that is rough.
It was tough, but overall they weren't going to win that series. Yeah, shout out LG. They put themselves in position to make the major now. I think all they have to do is get 9th through 12th next regional, and they're in.
So are they getting points for this?
Yeah, let me go up to the points.
Okay.
There should be points up here somewhere. But yeah, they get points, and yeah.
Oh,
so
I see.
RLCS points.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got 12 for that. And I don't know if I can find the standings page.
Rankings
but
up top.
I can tell you what it's like. So G2's number 1, Gen G's number 2. They're pretty much locked. G2 solidified a major spot. Gen G isn't set in stone, but they just have to show up and win a series, and I think they're in.
Okay.
And then LG, as long as they get 9th through 12th next time in Swiss, then they're good to go. And then the 4th spot could be anybody, bro. There's like 5 teams tied for 4th right now. And it's like OG, Dignitas.
Click rankings next to Major 1.
Yeah. Yeah. Here we
Gen
go.
G,
North America. Yeah. So look at all this.
Yeah, look at that.
Look at this.
Anyone from deleted up can probably make a run. Like they're only 5 points back. Like
exactly.
Holy shit. That's gonna be crazy.
It is, bro. It's gonna be insane. It's kind of crazy, bro. Like that there's one less spot because a lot of these teams are deserving of a major spot.
So top 4?
Yeah, it's top 4.
And then how many from the others?
4 from Europe, 4 from here, and then I think it's 2 from the others.
2
or 3 maybe. I don't know.
So 16 total?
I could completely be wrong, but yeah, I have a feeling that's it.
Then that what you said is correct. Then if it's because that's 16 total.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean it's just crazy, bro. It's crazy how competitive it makes it, but also like this format kind of blows because good teams are going to be left out of it. And teams like Shopify didn't even get a chance to get points because they have to re-qualify every weekend.
Yeah, they screwed themselves.
Yeah, bro, that sucks. Like they
could be up there.
Yeah, they were in like 3rd or 4th place. Like all they had to do was have a decent weekend and make the bracket again, and they would have been in a great spot.
Yeah, because everyone above them was in the bracket.
Yeah, they'd be tied with LG if they made the bracket.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
They trolled.
Yeah, they really did. So that's tough, but I'm sure they'll be back. And Yeah, I mean it's super
Cool.
competitive, man. It was a good weekend. We got one more regional in 2 weeks, and then the major.
Let's go. What's the date? Like, is it the week following that last one, or is there another 2-week break?
So next week is the re-qualification to get into regional 3. So next week they're all trying to qualify for the regional. Top 24 go, and then no, top 16 go, and then after the regional, the top 4 go to the major. So
Okay.
regionals
Gotcha.
in 2 weeks. Yep.
Cool. Well, that's your Rocket League segment, led by the true one and only D Woody.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna go ahead and get to our last segment here, coined by the Next Wave podcast. We got our pick and bans, where we pick and ban one thing in our lives from recent time, real, in-game, out-of-game, whatever it may be, and talk about it. So let's go into it. All right, welcome to our final segment of the podcast, pick and ban. As always, we'll start us off here. I give my pick, Dag gives his pick, and then we go to the bans. So my pick for my recent time is going to be what my ban was last episode. So last episode, my ban was UPS/Scuff. More so UPS because my neighbors in my apartment complex, because my Scuff controller was stolen. After continuing communications with UPS and Scuff filing a claim, they ended up replacing my Scuff for free, including expedited shipping, and got it here a couple days ago. So I've been getting used to my new Scuff.
Hold it up. Let's
So
see
shout
it.
out to, yeah, here's the Scuff. Currently, I do have the B paddle taken off because, as I've come to find out, let me just unplug it. As I come to find out, placing my hands on the right side with both paddles been kind of weird and uncomfortable for my hands. So I really wanted it so I could YY easier,
Yeah.
and not have to take my hand off the controller. So I kept the Y there, and I'll just take my hand off to melee, which is fine. So I've got jump, reload, YY, and then I'm pressing square. But pretty default. I wanted some color, so I
Yeah.
did the cheapest thing that allows you for some color.
Yeah.
Got
The thumbstick rings.
Yeah, got the domed right thumbstick and domed left thumbstick and the concave right thumbstick. So
Okay.
that's always been my go-to. I like the the domed left stick for movement, and the imprinted for the right stick. Still getting really used to it, honestly, because it's a big change from the Edge that I was using.
Yeah.
But yeah, shout out to Scuff and UPS for getting me a replacement and faster shipping free of charge.
Yeah, bro, that is clutch because they easily could have told you to go fuck yourself.
Yeah, I know.
So,
Which I was really hoping they didn't.
Yeah.
But yeah, what's your pick?
My pick is Helldivers 2, bro, and I haven't even played.
Oh yeah.
I haven't even played the damn game yet, and I
Yeah.
know it's game of the year. That shit looks so funny, bro. It's like
I want to play it.
I've gotten nonstop TikToks of it now because I talked about
Me
it
too.
one time, and it's so funny, bro. Every one of them, I watch it till the very end. Like, it just seems like there's never a down moment in that game. Like, you're just getting overrun at all times, and it's just straight comedy.
It looks cool.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool how the entire player base contributes to the same mission and the same goal. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not sure specifically how it works, but from what I understand, it's like, here's a sector of the map or whatever, or a server that everyone jumps on, and that you have to,
Liberate it.
wipe out. Yeah, you have to wipe out this species from the planet, and everyone is contributing to that goal. Like, it's 90% done. Let's go, guys. So like, you see the TikToks, and it's like, I need more help here, guys. Come help me. And it's literally talking to whoever.
Yeah.
Like, you're literally calling out to the void, like, come help me. And they literally don't have to be your friend or nothing. They just jump on and help you out. So
Yeah.
I definitely think Helldivers is a W.
Yeah, dude. I love games like this that like have a little culture to it, like have good enough world building to where like people feel like they're in it. Like Lethal Company, it's crazy that we've gotten 2 games like this back to back. Lethal Company was hilarious, bro. Everyone was like, "Oh, do it for the company." Like, the company is like who you work for in that game. And everyone was like posting TikToks like, we do this for the company, and like they were actually like an employee. And this one is like, troops, we need your help. Like, come find us in this sector. We're getting overrun. I saw one dude posted a TikTok where he was like in a sector that was getting hammered, bro. Like, they were fucked. And he was like, bro, there's 130,000 people in this shit, and this place is liberated. What the fuck y'all doing over here, bro? You just chilling? 130,000 people, y'all just chilling? We need help. And it like cuts to him just getting absolutely obliterated by an army of aliens.
We gotta try it out.
Yeah. So
we gotta
the
try
game
it out.
looks so sick, bro. I'm all here for it. And on Thursday, I'm downloading it. So let's get it. I'm excited.
Yeah, the only complaint is that they weren't expecting this, just like Lethal Company, Among Us, like some of these games, they weren't expecting the server load, so they were having to like get more servers and overload capacity and stuff like that. But they'll figure that out here. I imagine there's going to be an angel investor or a buyout for them coming soon. But getting into our bans here, just like your pick was a game that you haven't played, my ban is a movie that I haven't watched.
Oh shit. I know what.
And that movie is Madam Web, baby.
I disagree. I'm picking it. I think it's so bad that you should go see it.
That's the last TikTok that I saw. Do you get the TikTok of those two guys that talk about Marvel all the time? Long neck, skinny dude, and the Spider-Man kid.
No.
Oh, okay. Well, the Spider-Man. They're actually like I enjoy like watching their TikToks. I've never gone and like listened to their podcast or anything, but his name's Wafello, and I watched his review, and they were like, "You should actually go see this because we have not laughed at a movie like this in so long." It was. They wanted you to go see it because it was so laughable that it outweighed how bad the movie was.
Good
so,
God, man.
First off, the only reason it's my ban is because how fucking dare you release a piece of shit movie that is involved with Spider-Man at any degree?
Yeah.
Fuck you. Spider-Man is the best character of all time, and fuck you guys. Fuck Dakota Johnson also for like taking the role in this movie and just not giving a fuck about anything that the movie's about. She said that the Marvel movies were confusing, having to watch them all is weird, and that they asked her in an interview, they asked her to name the 3 Spider-Man movies, and she had no fucking clue. Fuck you, Dakota Johnson. Suck my balls. Actually, Madam Web is not my band. Dakota Johnson is. Fuck you.
Damn. Yeah, she did disrespect the fuck out of Spider-Man while acting in a Spider-Man film. You know, it's so funny that they knew this movie was going to be so dog shit that they wrote Andrew Garfield out of it. They were like, you know what, Andrew, you're going to be in the movie. And then halfway through writing it, they were like, you know what, Andrew, we don't want to tarnish your reputation.
This. Yeah, you don't deserve this.
Yeah. So it's insane. But this was Sony. This was like the Venom people that made this. Yeah. It makes sense then.
Venom's so much better. Like Venom's, I like Venom. Like I will watch those movies. I will voluntarily watch those movies.
No, listen,
I don't
bro.
think this is on that same level.
Listen, bro. Disney, Marvel has put out some dog shit, but it's like you can watch it and not hate every minute of it.
Right.
You know, like you're still entertained mildly.
And they're also giving us some bangers too.
Look, I'm not critical about movies at all, really, unless it's like a big movie, like of a series that I really like. But you know, I don't really give a fuck as long as the movie's semi-entertaining. It sounds like this movie is just ass. Like no fucking action, horrible lines. Like it just sounds like top to bottom this was made by us. If they told us go make a Spider-Man film, I feel like this would be the outcome.
No, I'd do better, bro.
Yeah, no, I'd at least have more entertaining lines, I feel like.
It's Spooderman.
Yeah, Spooderman. Nah, dude, it feels like they just said, who are 2 really famous women actors right now that we could throw on here just to get some buzz about it and, you know, make a bag and get out.
Yeah, all they needed was Sydney Sweeney, bro, and they had everyone.
Yep.
But what's your ban?
So I feel like it's just an easy go-to, but this is a special occasion for this. Gambling is my ban. It's not a personal thing. That shit infected my Discord this weekend like COVID. Like it was insane.
Really?
We were in there one night and it was like 6 of us and Yosef said something about a parlay and I was like, yeah, I got something on this. Dog, it turned into like all 6 of us just betting on All-Star Weekend weekend long. All weekend long, just losing parlay after parlay together.
Damn.
I bet on Rocket League. I bet on COD. I bet on the fucking All-Star game.
Damn.
It was sickening, bro. It was like the more...
Degenerate season?
Oh, yeah. It was like we all just kept getting more and more degenerate as we kept betting. Like, it was like, oh, you have this? Let me throw another one on there.
Be like that.
Oh, I like that bet. Let me throw another one on there.
When you get the homies on board
Yeah.
and it gets even bigger and bigger, it
Yeah.
becomes even more dangerous, bro.
Yeah, no,
If you're
I've always
watching and you have
just
a problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
yeah, 1-800-gambler. For me, gambling has never been a problem. I guess
Me
only
neither.
it's only been a problem with like Counter-Strike. And it's because I want skins.
Yeah, it's different.
It's because I'm getting something from it.
Yeah.
Other than
Yeah.
just money. It's like, oh shit, I want this knife. Like, that's sick. I don't know. Something about Counter-Strike made me not look at my wallet and just keep buying. But when I lose like $20 at the casino, it like physically pains me. Like
Yeah.
I can't have a good night after that.
I feel you.
So yeah, this sports betting and prize picks has always just been like, oh, I'm gonna throw 5 on it here and there. And this weekend it was out of control. It was out of control.
It'd be like that when the boys get on board,
Yeah.
man.
Now the
It
good
comes
news
and
is
turns into a sport.
the good news is I didn't actually lose money because I was using all my winnings from a past parlay on
Good.
prize picks, but I lost all that money. So
Yeah,
so,
it'd be like that.
so
It'd be like
it's
that.
like I won nothing.
Call 1-800-GAMBLER,
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
It gets out of hand.
But yeah, that's it.
Cool. Well, yeah. Well, that does it for our episode 14 here of the Next Wave podcast. We'll be back at you next week with some more COD coverage and any other esports news that pops up. So make sure you stay tuned. We appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure to leave a comment, like, and subscribe. And we'll see y'all in the next episode. Deuces.
Peace.